Hi there, it's Pete from Hermitage Road. Welcome back to the loft after my trips to Cornwall, where I've attended the Bodmin Diesel Day, which was great fun, and I've put some videos up of that. What I've got here are three of the different types of Class 45. The far one is the latest Bachmann version, which is come out. It's got full lighting now, which it didn't have before. Next to that is a Class 44. This is got the headcode discs, and by the side of that is a Class 46, which was the last of the ones to be built. They built 193 of these, and they were pretty successful for one of the earlier locomotives. If I pan you round, there we are, we can see some of the versions. There were lots of headcode versions with split headcode, no headcode, and also the ones you can see here, which are the split headcode version, which is Royal Marines, I think that one, and by the side of it is a 45-1. This was one of the unnamed ones with a grey roof. Now the 45s had a 12-cylinder Sulzer engine of around 2,300 horsepower. Some of the later ones were a bit more powerful, and it was, like all Sulzer ones, loud and fairly successful. Now the 46s were different. They didn't have the Crompton Parkinson traction motors. They had brush ones, and they were good for climbing hills, particularly in Devon and Cornwall, where they were sometimes used on the clay traffic, and generally between the West Country and Bristol. As they got older, they were split into two lots, basically. The 44s had gone, the 46s went in 1984, and the others were divided into the electric train heated fitted ones, which I showed you earlier, and the steam heat. The steam heat obviously concentrated on steam heated stock, and the electric was for the electric heated stock. One of the things I saw them doing quite a bit was mail trains. They're apparently quite common on that, and I know they used to, the 45-1 certainly brought up the mail train from Devon and Cornwall. They used to bring it up to Bristol, and it used to they used to put it in platform 3, and there they would add the extra coaches for from the Bristol mail to this train, and they'd have an 08 shunter making it up. It was quite interesting watching it, and it used to leave about 9 o'clock at night. If you were quick, you could go out to Bristol Parkway station and see it pulling in through there at night. It used to have a pretty long train. I think there were 12, sometimes 15 carriages on it of mail coaches, which it was quite an impressive sight, and they seemed to come up the bank from Bristol up to Parkway quite well, and they coped with it. They gradually faded out and went in about 1989 was the last one, which was a blue one, a green one that was for rail tour duties, but unfortunately it caught fire and was destroyed. Now what they learnt from the 45s was incorporated in the 47s, the traction motors and also the Sulzer engine, but they built it in a monocoque chassis, which was much lighter, with flat ends and a cocoa bogie, which was much better for coping with the tighter sort of yards and coal mines and things like that, where the big long 45s were virtually prohibited. They were a bit difficult to use around there. They used to get a lot of derailments. Now the 44 is the one that was, the first 10 were this, and they were the ones that the name came from. They were all named after peaks, well, mountains in England and Wales. I believe there's 3 of them still around, but they were the first withdrawals, and they used to work on coal trains out of Toton Depot. The rest of them worked from either Leeds, I believe, and in the end Tinsley, near Sheffield. A lot of the 45 noughts worked out of there, and they gave BR good service, and what they learned from them incorporated in the 47s stood them in good stead. Right, I'm going to wrap up this video now and say thank you for watching. If you could like, subscribe and comment or share or whatever, just remember subscribing doesn't cost anything, and it does do a lot for my channel. So thank you very much and good night.